You're watching the 2022 World Lacrosse Men's Under 21 World Championship live from the University of Limerick here on the banks of the River Shannon in Limerick, Ireland on laxsn.com. It's day 11 and Championship Saturday here at the World Championships as we get set for today's 9th place battle between Jamaica and Israel. This game will face off in just a couple of minutes as Team Israel sings their national anthem. This will be the final games here at these World Championships for both of these teams. The winner will take home 9th place, but either way, these two teams will be finishing in the top 10 here of teams out of 23 in competition. For Team Jamaica, they are currently 2-4 throughout the World Championships, and they're coming off of an 11-10 nail-biting victory in yesterday's game against the Czech Republic. Meanwhile, for Team Israel, they are 1-5 throughout the tournament thus far and just picked up their first win yesterday morning against Germany. As you take a look at the face-off stats, with the opening face-off just moments away. I'm Grant Del Vecchio, proud and privileged to be bringing you global coverage of this game here on laxsn.com. As you take a look at the top point scorers for both of these teams, Josh Mclaughlin for Jamaica and Joey Kraft for Team Israel. It's currently 9:17 a.m. local time here in Limerick, Ireland. Hovering right around in the mid-60s temperature-wise. There are about 15-mile-an-hour winds currently blowing as the teams pump themselves up and get ready for a 9th-place battle here on Field 2 at the University of Limerick. The final day of these men's under 21 World Championships, and what a tournament it has been. Big shout out to Ireland Lacrosse, the World Lacrosse Organization, and all the staff members here at the University of Limerick for putting on an excellent tournament. It is no small feat getting 23 different teams here from all over the globe and ensuring that the tournament runs smoothly. Currently, right next to us over on Field 3 is a 19th place battle between Team Kenya and Latvia from the Platinum bracket. So if you hear the sounds and the whistles currently taking place, those are coming from the field over between Kenya and Latvia as we get set for this matchup between Jamaica and Israel. The head coach for Team Jamaica is Brian Silcott, a two-time All-American. He was as a player at Nazareth College, and he is currently head of player experience and lacrosse administration for the Premier Lacrosse League. Meanwhile, the head coach of Team Israel is Seth Mahler, a native of Connecticut in the United States originally, but has been living in Israel for the past 12 years since the inception of the Israel Lacrosse Foundation. More on Mahler. He played on Israel's field and box men's national teams since 2012, was a co-captain since 2016, and he is the director of the men's lacrosse programs in Israel. He was also the head coach for Team Israel at the U19 Men's World Championships back in 2016, which was the last time this junior level world championship took place. As the starters for these teams meet at midfield, we are ready to go. Jamaica in the white jerseys, Israel in blue. Owen Stevenson on the right side, taking the faceoffs for Team Jamaica. Oron Goldman for Team Israel. And Israel, throughout this tournament thus far, is dead last in faceoffs won and faceoff percentage here at the World Championships. They have struggled at the X. And Jamaica wins the opening faceoff, and they will start with possession here in this 9th place contest. Again, Jamaica 2-4 thus far throughout the World Championships. They are averaging both 7.6 goals per game on offense and giving up that amount on the defensive end. Meanwhile, Team Israel is giving up over 9 goals per game so far. Here's the first shot of the game, and it's stopped by Ben Friedman. And a big reason that Israel was able to secure their first win at these World Championships yesterday against Germany was the stellar play of Ben Friedman in net, who made 15 saves as a long pole for Germany. Tony Diallo fires over the cage from deep, but Friedman was fantastic in net for Israel yesterday, making 15 saves and only allowing 6 goals for a 71% save percentage. Big reason why Israel was able to pick up their first win here. And another big reason why is that player right there, number 23 in blue, Gregory Wells, a premier defender on this Israeli team. But yesterday, he had 2 goals and 4 shots on goal. Doing it on both ends for Team Israel is the Fayetteville, New York native. As Joey Kraft has it now for Team Israel, team's top point scorer throughout the tournament, and he hands it off to team captain Ronan Abramovich. Here is Abramovich. Turned away well by Dante Bowen. Joey Kraft working his way over to the far side. Team leader in goals and assists. And he has it taken away. Excellent defense. So Israel turns it over on their opening offensive possession. And now Team Jamaica will get set on the other end. Feed up top for Tanner Sims. And it goes all the way across midfield. Jamaica turns it over right back. All throughout this tournament, Team Israel has struggled on the offensive side of things, scoring just a tick over 4 goals per game. They've put the third least number of shots on goal. As Dolevcheva gets inside, but his shot is easily handled by Tyler Vassell, who's in net for Jamaica. As you can hear, there are about 16-mile-an-hour winds currently taking place as Josh Mclaughlin and Team Jamaica strike first. With his 16th goal of the tournament, which leads the team. He scored a goal in every game of this tournament. Top 25 among all athletes competing in the World Championships in terms of total points, with 19 now. And he's had multiple points in 4 of the 6 games coming into this one. That's Josh Mclaughlin. And a key piece of this Jamaican offensive attack. And he gets Team Jamaica on the board here in the first as Tanner Sims unloads from the left alley, but Ben Friedman turns it away. Ethan Dick-Turl carries across midfield for Israel. Dante Bowen pestering him the whole way, though, and causes the turnover. Bowen, a rising sophomore defensive midfielder at Ohio State, where he plays under head coach Nick Myers, who is the head coach of Team USA here at these World Championships and will be competing for a gold medal later this evening. A little more than halfway through this opening quarter between Jamaica and Israel. Team Jamaica is going to take a timeout, and we'll step aside. Back live here at the University of Limerick for this 9th place battle between Team Jamaica and Israel. Team Jamaica with a 1-0 advantage thanks to a beautiful top corner snipe from Josh Mclaughlin. Both of these teams looking to end their World Championships run on a high note. And they both were able to pick up victories in their games yesterday. 11-10 W for Jamaica against the Czech Republic and an 8-6 win for Team Israel against Germany. And as you can hear, there are some pretty heavy winds blowing here at the University of Limerick as Josh Mclaughlin goes behind the back for his second goal of the game. And it's 2-0 Jamaica. Making it look easy is Josh Mclaughlin. He's now had multi-points in 5 of 7 games played, has Josh Mclaughlin. Put up a hat trick yesterday for his second of the tournament and well on his way to another here in the final game of these World Championships for Jamaica. And that's the second time that I've brought up the weather, and Josh Mclaughlin has made me eat my words and scored immediately afterwards. Team Jamaica works it around with a 2-goal lead. They're scoring close to 8 goals a game throughout the tournament thus far. Kyrie Sears sends a pass intended for Stone Evans, and it's a turnover. Under 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Again, at these World Championships, we play 4 15-minute quarters. It's running clock until the final 30 seconds of the first 3 quarters, and the clock will stop under 2 minutes in the final fourth quarter. Samuel Trajano has his shot deflected. And Team Jamaica takes it across the midfield. It's Tony Diallo. Over to Stone Evans, to Mclaughlin. Great ball movement here for Team Jamaica. And that shovel shot is loose right outside the crease area. And now Friedman has it inside the crease. Excellent pass from Sears. And number 0, Joel Subawan, just could not finish it. Here's Samuel Trajano. Had 2 goals for Israel in their first win of the tournament yesterday over Germany. Joey Kraft down the left alley, fires and scores. Joey Kraft, the team leader in goals, adds another to his total. 7th goal of the tournament for Joey Kraft. And it brings Israel within 1. Little over 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Joey Kraft just got Israel on the board. Kraft had a goal and 2 assists in yesterday's win over Germany. As Tanner Sims, incoming sophomore at Flagler College, controls it for Team Jamaica and dishes it to Stone Evans. Kyrie Sears being pestered by Greg Wells. Pardon me, that was Daniel Yuffa, not Wells. Mclaughlin dishes it to Stone Evans, who rips a shot high and wide of the cage. Kyrie Sears, final seconds of this first quarter. That shot again is up and over the net. And as the whistles blow, that'll do it for the opening quarter of play here in this 9th place matchup between Team Jamaica and Israel. It's Jamaica with a 2-1 lead after the opening 15 minutes. Both goals coming from Josh Mclaughlin. Stick with us. They will resume in just a moment. Back live for second quarter action between Jamaica and Israel. Was a competitive first quarter between these two teams, meeting for the first time at these World Championships. The 7th game for both of these teams. Israel coming into today 1-5 on the tournament. Jamaica 2-4. Jamaica 3 for 4 and now 4 for 5 at the faceoff X. So far in this game, throughout the tournament, Team Israel has ranked dead last in faceoff wins and faceoff percentage, whereas Team Jamaica had the 11th best faceoff percentage out of the 23 teams competing here at the World Championships throughout their first 6 games. Both of Team Jamaica's goal coming from number 1 in white, Josh Mclaughlin. There is Mclaughlin unloading from the left side. Joel Subawan there to retain possession for Jamaica. Mclaughlin, feed right outside the crease, intended for Kyrie Sears. He couldn't handle it. Subawan secures it, sends it back to Mclaughlin. Give and go with Tanner Sims. Strong team defense on this possession for Israel. There is no shot clock here at these World Championships. As Mclaughlin sets the screen, comes off one. Another behind the back shot attempt. This time goes wide of cage. It was Dante Bowen nearly adding one to the highlight reel. Tanner Sims, excellent stick work to secure the pass. His shot is off target. Subawan secures the loose ground ball. Extended possession for Team Germany, and Dante Bowen makes Israel pay. 3-1 Jamaica.
Jamaica has another one making the score. Jamaica 3, Israel 1.
Stone Evans with the no-look feed to Bowen, who got free in the heart of Israel's defense and beat Friedman low. Sixth goal of the tournament for Dante Bowen, who has now scored a point in 6 of Jamaica's 7 games played. Unsure what the call was there, either a push or a legal procedure called against Germany. So possession goes to Israel. Just 2 shots on goal for Israel thus far, but one of them has found the back of the net. It's Joey Kraft with the lone goal for the Israelis. Here is Kraft. The feed to Edo Bar David, and Edo Bar David puts it in. Israel trails by just 1.
10 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Israel has another making the score. Israel 2, Jamaica 3.
7th goal of the tournament.
10 minutes remaining
for Edo Bar David, who now remains tied with Joey Kraft for the team lead in goals for Israel. Edo Bar David, whose brother Ori is the one who got him into lacrosse, and Ori Bar David scored a goal in the 2018 World Championships and is actually one of the assistant coaches on staff for Team Israel. Surely making his older brother proud is Edo. And there's a timeout taken on the field, under 10 minutes to play in this first half. Israel just cut Jamaica's lead to 1. It's a 3-2 advantage for Team Jamaica here in this 9th place battle. You're watching the 2022 World Lacrosse Men's Under 21 World Championship live from the University of Limerick here on laxsn.com. As both teams make their way back out onto the field. Grant Delvecchio on the call. Glad to be with you as part of Lacrosse Sports Network's global coverage of these World Championships, the final day of action here at these World Championships. What a fantastic tournament it's been thus far. Kenya and Latvia playing for 19th place over on field 3, right next to ours. As Joey Kraft gets inside, takes a big hit. Flag flies.
Jamaica penalized 1 minute for illegal body check. 1 minute penalty on Jamaica. It's 8 minutes.
As Israel's going to go and up on the illegal body check call against Jamaica. 6-5 advantage for Israel for a minute. First man up opportunity for either team, and Israel cashes in. It's Joey Kraft with his second goal of the game, and his team leading 8th of the tournament. And this game is tied at 3. The assist from Ronan Abramovich, and the finish by Joey Kraft ties this game at 3. As Israel wins their second face-off of the game. Ethan Dictoral came from the wing position to secure possession. As Jamaica applying pressure on the ride. And now Israel carries it over more than halfway through this second quarter. Germany led 2-1 after the first quarter of play. But it's Team Israel leading 2-1 in this second quarter to tie this game at 3. Ronan Abramovich saves it from going to midfield. Now fires the shot from deep, and Tyler Vassell was all over it. A push called against Israel. And Team Jamaica and Owen Stevenson will dish to Dante Bowen. Kyrie Sears to Joel Subawan, and his shot is saved by Ben Friedman. Third save of the game for Ben Friedman, who's coming off his best game of the tournament by far in yesterday's win over Germany, where he had 15 saves and was a major reason why Israel got their first win of the tournament. Under 5 minutes to play in this first half, all tied at 3. Dolevjeva turned away by Stone Evans. Joey Kraft guarded by Owen Stevenson, who takes the faceoffs for Jamaica, but is also one of their premier long pole defenders. Excellent team defense by Jamaica forces Joey Kraft to lose possession, and now Jamaica takes it away. Tony Diallo on the ground ball pickup.
4 minutes.
Edo Bar-David is being flagged for Team Israel. It'll be a 30-second penalty against Israel for offsides. Jamaica will have a man advantage for half a minute. First man up opportunity for Jamaica in this game. Stone Evans trying to feed Kylan Lane on the doorstep. It was deflected, and it'll stay with Jamaica, but both teams are now back at even strength.
Teams are back to equal strength. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the half. 2:40 remaining in the half.
Approaching 2 minutes to go here in this first half. Been a competitive matchup thus far, all tied at 3.
3 apiece. Each team has 3.
Stone Evans fakes the shot, gets his hands free, now fires, and it's over the top of the cage.
2 minutes remain in the half.
Jamaica trying to regain the lead late in this first half. Tanner Sims gets doubled, fights through traffic. Behind the cage, feed to Bowen. Couldn't handle the pass, but Stone Evans is there to maintain possession.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Josh Mclaughlin has 2 goals in this game already. Stone Evans' feed is deflected. Dante Bowen cleans it up. Bowen has a goal already. Spinning through traffic, shooting, and it's saved by Ben Friedman.
1 minute.
Final minute of this first half.
Israel calls a final timeout and a half.
And Team Israel opts to talk things over with 40 seconds to play in this opening half between Jamaica and Israel, all tied at 3. Welcome back to Lax Sports Network's live coverage of these 2022 World Lacrosse Men's Under 21 World Championships here on laxsn.com. 40 seconds and change remaining in this first half between Jamaica and Israel. These two teams battling for 9th place here at these World Championships. Israel just took a timeout, and they have possession, trying to take the lead before the halftime break.
Clock is on the field. 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
Ronan Abramovich goes crossfield, intended for Ito Bar David, but Tony Diallo, who has been active on the defensive end, takes it away. Jamaica working the other way. Stone Evans, just seconds remaining, and his shot is saved at the buzzer by Ben Friedman. What a first half it was. As the final whistle blows, this game remains tied at 3. You're watching the 2022 World Lacrosse Men's Under 21 World Championships live from the University of Limerick here in Limerick, Ireland on laxsn.com. After the opening 30 minutes of play, Team Jamaica and Team Israel are tied at 3. Second half action coming up after a short break.
third quarter. Score is still tied, 3-3.
Welcome back to Lax Sports Network's live coverage of these men's under 21 World Championships. Second half action on the way between Team Jamaica and Israel. It was an even and competitive first half between these two teams as we remain tied 3-3 at the start of this third quarter. And Owen Stevenson for Jamaica now 6 for 8 at the faceoff X. It'll be the Jamaicans who start with offensive possession to begin this third quarter. They got 2 goals from Josh Mclaughlin, who has it now and sends it up top for Kylan Lane, and 1 from Dante Bowen. These teams battling it out to see who takes home 9th place here at these World Championships. It's Championship Saturday. The U.S. and Canada will battle it out for the gold medal later this evening. The U.S. trying to pick up its 9th straight gold medal at the junior level World Championships. Here's Kyrie Sears working down low inside, and he puts it past Friedman to give Jamaica a 4-3 lead. Excellent work by Kyrie Sears, using his body to get past Daniel Yuffa. Got in front and put it past Friedman. Kyrie Sears, who plays lacrosse in the United States for UMass Lowell. And in his first season for the Riverhawks as a freshman, he played in 13 games, started 4 of those games, and scored 4 goals and 3 assists. It was his 9th goal of the tournament for Sears, which is second on the team, trailing only Josh Mclaughlin. As you can hear, some strong winds here in Limerick. Temperatures in the mid-60s. We thank you for joining us wherever you may be tuning in from across the world. Early afternoon in Israel, morning time here in Ireland, wee hours of the morning over in the United States, as well as in Jamaica, as Sam Trajano dodges left, gets turned away, and now Joey Kraft working towards the middle, sending it over to Ronan Abramovich, and his shot bounces well wide of the cage. Joey Kraft being defended by Tony Diallo. Kraft has it taken away. And Vassell secures it in net for Jamaica. As Dante Bowen carries it across midfield and sends it ahead for Jamaica. Kyrie Sears goes for a goal again. The side shot could not connect. 5 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Jamaica has taken a 1-goal lead on the finish from Kyrie Sears. Stone Evans to Dante Bowen. Bowen tries to go low to high, but his shot is off target. Kyrie Sears working inside. Over to Tanner Sims, whose shot is off the mark. Sims surveying. Back behind the cage to Kyrie Sears. Has a goal and assist in this game. Looking for more. Gets inside. And it's saved by Ben Friedman. Sixth save of the game for the Israeli goaltender, who has been magnificent over the last 2 games. Friedman has double-digit saves made in 3 games for Israel throughout this tournament. On his way to another standout performance. As the long pole, Greg Wells goes for goal, sends it well wide of the cage. But Wells can score it. Did have 2 goals in yesterday's 8-6 victory over Germany for Israel. Did the long pole defenseman. It's been a very clean game defensively thus far for both sides. Just 1 penalty assessed to each team. Coming into this game, Team Jamaica had the 5th most penalty minutes out of all teams in competition here at these World Championships. 31 penalty minutes on 35 total penalties. Just 1 so far today. As the sun begins to shine a little brighter here on Field 2 at the University of Limerick for this 9th place game between Jamaica and Israel. Tanner Sims goes for a goal, and it's outside of the net. Try to put it in from a sharp angle, but Friedman locking down that right side. Back live here at the University of Limerick. Coming out of the timeout from Jamaica. It's a 4-3 lead for Jamaica with under 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Been an excellent battle up until this point. We thank you for joining us here on laxsn.com. Dante Bowen spinning towards the middle. And it's a turnover. I believe the call was a hold against Jamaica. So what looks like might be a good chance for Jamaica on the offensive end ends up as a turnover. Israel now with a chance to tie this game up. Trailing by 1. They've only been scoring a tick over 4 goals per game, but did have one of their best offensive performances of the tournament yesterday in an 8-6 victory over Germany. Those 8 goals, the most they scored in the tournament. As Abramovich's pass is off the mark. Trickles out towards midfield. Jamaica secured the loose ground ball. And they'll reset from midfield. Stone Evans brings it down. Out wide for Tanner Sims. Stone Evans, the native of Connecticut. Surveys from X. Gets it back. Pass right in front. Kyrie Sears. His low shot is fired wide of the cage. Josh Mclaughlin, who has been quiet after scoring the opening 2 goals for for Jamaica. As Tanner Sims' shot is saved by Ben Friedman, who tries to send a pass down the entire length of the field and turns it over. Friedman makes another nice save, but then gives it right back to Jamaica. This is one of 8 games taking place here on Championship Saturday, the final day of these World Championships. As the ball gets loose in front of the net, Josh Mclaughlin picks it up and sends it out of bounds. It's a turnover for Jamaica. One of 8 games taking place, as I was saying, here on Championship Saturday. Got a matchup between Kenya and Latvia taking place over on Field 3 currently, next to ours. The featured games on Lax Sports Network that will have Tom Eschen on the call are between England and Japan in a couple of hours. And then later this afternoon, Puerto Rico and Ireland as well. And then the championship game tonight between the U.S. and Canada. And the third place game between Haudenosaunee and Australia will take place just prior to then. Jam-packed day of lacrosse here in Ireland yet again, as Stone Evans has his pass attempt stolen away by Ben Friedman, and Friedman again sends it the length of the field. As the third quarter comes to a close, we've got a close one on our hands. Jamaica with a 1-goal lead heading into the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2022 World Lacrosse Men's Under 21 World Championship here on laxsn.com. Final 15 minutes of this one on the way. Stick with us. Final 15 minutes of action here at these World Championships for Jamaica and Israel. Both of these teams trying to end their tournament run on a high note. It's Jamaica, who currently leads 4-3. It's been tight in this one the entire way, as Gregory Wells and Owen Stevenson battle for the faceoff. And Stevenson secures it for a moment, and Tony Diallo picks it up. Now back to Stevenson. Excellent battle for possession. Both of these teams competing till the very end. 4-3 lead for Jamaica. 2 goals from Josh Mclaughlin. 1 from Kyrie Sears and 1 from Dante Bowen. Just 1 goal scored between these two teams in the third quarter, and it was Jamaica, as this game was all tied at 3 at halftime. Jamaica has had trouble holding on to leads in this tournament before. This past Sunday, they led at halftime and going into the fourth against Germany, end up losing that game by 1. As Owen Stevenson has it up top, sends it over to Tanner Sims. And then this past Tuesday, they also led at halftime and going into the fourth quarter against Japan and ended up losing that game as well. So Jamaica trying to flip the script here in their final contest of these World Championships. They turn it over to begin this fourth quarter, and Ben Friedman will start the clear for Israel. Joey Kraft working around Tanner Sims. Israel has not scored since the first half. They've got 3 goals, one of them from Ito Bar-David and 2 from Joey Kraft, who also assisted the Ito Bar-David goal. As Ronan Abramovich gets on the board and ties this game at 4.
Israel now is tied to 4 at 4. Israel 4, Jamaica 4.
Abramovich working from X, using his body well. Went near post on Vassell, who really wasn't close to making that save. Key face-off upcoming between Greg Wells and Owen Stevenson, as this game has been tied yet again. And Stevenson wins it for Jamaica. Owen Stevenson. Now 11 of 12 at the face-off X for Jamaica. Stone Evans working down low and puts it past Ben Friedman. Jamaica back on top. How did Stone Evans sneak it past Friedman there? Evans went 5-hole on Friedman, who was doing a great job covering up that near post. Evans still found a way, and Jamaica retakes the lead. Fifth goal of the tournament for Stone Evans, who was second on the team in assists coming into this one. And Evans has now scored a point in 5 of Jamaica's 7 games. And what do you know? Owen Stevenson with another face-off win. Came into this one winning 48% of his face-offs prior to this game. 21st best among all athletes here at these World Championships. Stevenson, who's a long stick midfielder at the University of District Columbia, a D2 school in the United States, showing off his face-off prowess here in Ireland at these World Championships. Jamaica will now take their time, holding a 1-goal lead as the seconds continue to tick down in this fourth quarter. Stone Evans trying to find an open teammate. Sends it near side for Tanner Sims. Gets it back. Crossfield pass for Kyrie Sears. Now Josh Mclaughlin unloads from deep, and Friedman is all over it. halfway through this fourth quarter. Again, we'll stop the clock for the final 2 minutes of this one as Dante Bowen forces the turnover and Jamaica wins back possession. Bowen, the rising sophomore defensive midfielder at Ohio State, showing off his defensive skills there. Native of Brampton, Ontario. Has a goal in this one. Tanner Sims loses the defender, unloads, and puts it past Friedman for the goal. Pretty move by Tanner Sims. And fired it past Friedman to give Jamaica a 6-4 lead. Ariel Genie got lost in the Sims sauce. Stevenson wins Jamaica another face-off. And the stats have been updated to now reflect that Owen Stevenson is 13 of 13 at the face-off X for Jamaica. 100% of face-offs Stevenson has won thus far. That's just remarkable, even considering that Israel ranked last among all teams here in face-off wins and face-off percentage coming into this one. As we approach 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Jamaica with a 2-goal lead in this battle for ninth place. Make it a 3-goal lead. Josh Mclaughlin with the hat trick.
With 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the game. Israel 4, Jamaica 7. Israel 4, Jamaica 7.
Third hat trick of the tournament for Josh Mclaughlin, who now leads Jamaica with 18 goals through the World Championships. Native of Marietta, Georgia, having himself a fantastic World Championship performance. Again, he scored a goal in all 7 games played for Jamaica and just picked up his third hat trick. As Dante Bowen showing some strength, working through 3 Israel defenders. Under 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter.
4 minutes remaining in the game. 4 minutes.
Jamaica has scored 3 unanswered after Israel tied this game up at 4. This game was tied at halftime 3-3, 4-3 Jamaica going into the fourth quarter. But it's been all Jamaica in this fourth. And Team Jamaica coached by head coach Brian Silcott, currently head of player experience in Lax administration for the Premier Lacrosse League, a league that is burgeoning in the United States.
3 minutes remaining in the game.
Final day of these World Championships, final game for both of these teams. It's been an awesome 11 days here at the University of Limerick on the banks of the River Shannon in Limerick, Ireland. Big shout out to Ireland Lacrosse and the World Lacrosse Organization for putting on what has been an excellent tournament. All the staffers here at the University of Limerick as well. No small task bringing 23 teams from all over the globe here as Kylan Lane gets free and adds another for Jamaica. It's now an 8-4 Jamaican lead. Shalev Tal went for the interception on the pass. Did not secure it. And Kylan Lane got behind the defense. Friedman was out of position. And it's 8-4 Jamaica. This is the first ever junior level world championship that is in the U21 age bracket. And it's a one-time only thing after this tournament, which is typically a U19 tournament, was canceled in 2020. The World Lacrosse allowed the age limit to be raised to U21 to allow for all the players who missed out on that 2020 tournament to participate, which is just a great showing by World Lacrosse. So this tournament has been 6 years in the making. The last junior level world championship taking place back in 2016 when the U.S. pulled out a thrilling victory over Canada. And the U.S. and Canada will meet again in the gold medal game later this evening. But right now, it's a 9th place battle between Jamaica and Israel. And Jamaica has dominated the second half and the fourth quarter specifically, outscoring Israel 5-1 in the second half and 4-1 in this fourth quarter. And that's the main reason they have a 4-goal advantage. With under 4 minutes to play in this final quarter. Jamaica looking to pick up its third win at the World Championships and continue growing the sport in Jamaica. Currently 12 high schools that have lacrosse in Jamaica. There were 17 before the pandemic. It has shrunk to 12, but if this tournament has shown anything, it's that the Jamaicans have excellent talent when it comes to lacrosse. They've got a great leader of this team in head coach Brian Silcott. And the same is true in terms of the growth of lacrosse in Israel. As Greg Wells gets the rusty gate check on Stone Evans, secures the turnover, and Israel is not done yet. Team Israel, head coach Seth Mahler, going to take a timeout. Final minutes of this 9th place game between Jamaica and Israel. It's Jamaica with a 4-goal lead. back live at the University of Limerick.
We come out of the timeout. 1 minute, 11 seconds remaining. Israel 4, Jamaica.
Final minute of action here at the World Championships for these two teams. It's Championship Saturday as the flags come in. It's going to be a penalty upcoming against Kylie Lane and Team Jamaica.
Jamaica penalized 30 seconds for a hold.
Barring a miracle, it'll be Jamaica that secures 9th place at this tournament. But both of these teams will be finishing in the top 10 among 23 teams in competition here, as Ronan Abramovich's shot is turned away by Tyler Vassell. These two teams participating in the championship bracket with 12 teams in competition. The Netherlands became champions of the Platinum bracket, which placed teams from 13th through 23rd place yesterday in an upset victory over Hong Kong, China. And later this evening, the U.S. and Canada will battle again for the gold medal, as Jamaica is content to hold on to possession with a 4-goal lead as the final seconds continue to tick down. And that will do it. Jamaica secures an 8-4 victory and 9th place at these 2022 Men's Under 21 World Championships. Israel takes home 10th place and finishes 1-6 overall. Jamaica picks up their 3rd victory and move to 3-4 overall in the tournament. For Jamaica, Josh Mclaughlin posted a hat trick. Kyrie Sears had a goal and an assist. Stone Evans had a goal and 3 assists. And Dante Bowen and Tanner Sims added goals of their own, while Tyler Vassell had 3 saves in net. For Team Israel, Ben Friedman was great in net, saving 9 shots compared to the 8 he allowed, but it was not enough to give Israel the victory. Thank you again for tuning in from wherever you may be. I'm Grant Delvecchio, wishing you a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. You've been watching Lax Sports Network's coverage of the 2022 World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships, live from the University of Limerick in Limerick, Ireland, here on laxsn.com. Still to come later today are Lax Sports Network's featured matchups between England and Japan and Puerto Rico versus Ireland. Tom Eschen will be on the call for both of those games. And later this evening, the U.S. and Canada will battle for the gold medal. As both teams shake hands, we say so long and thank you for joining us. Team Jamaica wins it 8-4 and finish in 9th place at these World Championships.
officials too. It's now time to present the Articulate Award, presented by World Lacrosse Director of Development, Bob DeMarco. This award is presented to the person from each team who is the most influential in the team's program and success. The recipients are recognized for this honor by their own team. Recipients have made an outstanding individual contribution to their peer group, made an excellent and professional contribution to the event, made a difference to someone in the group or to the whole group, which has significantly enhanced their ability to participate in the event. Again, presenting today's World Lacrosse Heart, Spirit of the Game Award is Director of Development, Bob DeMarco. Presenting Jamaica's award is head coach Brian Silcock. Congratulations, Jamaica, for placing 9th and Israel 10th in the World Lacrosse rankings for this tournament. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you.